Hi guys, it is time for my palette roundup. These are all the palettes that I used in July. I did not wear as much makeup this month as I would normally do, partially because we were without AC for a week and I was not putting on makeup. It's very warm outside. Also, the changing of the rooms and all of that stuff, so I didn't wear makeup as much as I normally do. So I have, stand by, so I have 12 palettes here. Now some of them I used in conjunction with each other, and I will let you know what those are, and also there will be photos up here, down here, somewhere, that of the looks that I did. So if you want to see the looks that I created with these palettes and see what palettes I used this month, then stick around. Welcome or welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Andi, and I'm really happy that you're here. Okay. Now, the first palette, I do not have a photo for. I'm just going to show it first because I don't have a photo for it. It is the Beauty Bay Neutral palette. I use this every month. Every month you're going to see it because I love it. It's beautiful. I love it. But I was running late to work, whatever. So I didn't take a photo. So I used the Ace Beauty Floral Vintage. I used this 3 times. This is in my 50 Shades of Gold / Yellow project pan, and I have this in for No Pan Left Behind, which means I need to use every shadow in here once. And you guys, I'm working through it, man. I've used almost every shadow in here. Almost. I think I have like maybe 6 or 7 that I have not used yet. One of the looks that I did with this, I did use in conjunction with the Blend Bunny Dollhouse palette, because this shade right here was in my project, Pan Those Eyeshadows project. And I don't know if you can see, but there's a nice little dent in there, which is basically, that's my goal. That's my goal, is to make some dents. So I used that. This palette here, I love Ace Beauty. I do. I love their formula. This is not my favorite palette, and I can't remember. I think I got this through like the Ipsy Drop Shop or something. I got it deeply, deeply discounted, and I'm not sure it's going to stick around. I don't know yet. I don't know. When I do my declutter at the end of the year, we'll see. But I have other color stories that are like this that I think I like better. So we'll see. We'll see. One of the times I did use the Blend Bunny Dollhouse, I used it in collaboration with the Cali Chic palette. By the way, the Blend Bunny Dollhouse is amazing. I love it. I will never declutter this. I just think that the color story itself that's like right up my alley, and I just love it. But the Cali Chic palette by Beauty Creations, this is what she looks like. It is a very nice summer color story. It could also be fall as well, but I love the bronzy goodness in the like coppery shades in the summertime. This is getting old. So again, I'm not sure this one's going to stick around. I do love the palette. I've loved using it since I've had it. So I did use the Blend Bunny twice. The next palette that I used twice this month is the Steve Laurent Wild Thing palette. I got this from Laura the Bargain Hunter in birthday mail. And I love this palette so much. This color story is my jam. It is cool neutrals. The one photo that you will see is not a great photo. I took it outside at work because I forgot to take a picture. I took it outside. I think it's a terrible photo. It is what it is. Then the other one's okay. It's all right. But I really love, 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 love that palette. So thank you, Laura, for that, because it's beautiful. It's beautiful. The next one I used this month is the BH Mimosa palette. I only used it once. This shade right here is in my Pan Those Eyeshadows project. I have not met my uses on it yet, but that's the only look that I used it as an eyeshadow. I have now been using it as a blush because I don't like it as an eyeshadow. This formula is great. It is the BH formula that we all know and love from days gone by. I do love the formula of this. Whether I'm going to keep this palette, I don't know. I don't really care for the color story. I don't do bright, bright pinks. And this shade, and this shade all look the same on the lid. And this shade and this shade look the same. So I'm not sure I'm going to keep it around after the end of the year, but I do love the formula. I do. But this is working way better as a blush than it was an eyeshadow. I don't like the look that I created. I just don't. Next up is the ColourPop High Tide palette. I didn't know when I filmed this look, this was a collab with Ash from Makeup in Chaos. We did a look with this. This is such summery goodness. I freaking love this palette. And, you know, I was talking about how great it was. I didn't even realize it's not available anymore. Why do they do that? Why does ColourPop do that? They keep bringing out these freaking collections of things that all look the same, but then there's like this palette and the Lush Life palette. That's an amazing palette. Can't get any more. Can't get any more. So I'm really sad that they don't have this anymore. But I'm sure you can find it on Poshmark or Mercari. I bet you could. Maybe. But I love it. I love it. The next one was also a collab. It was the BH Lost in Los Angeles. Again, love the formula. This is the same formula as the Weekend. What were these called? This was the travel series. This is the Weekend Vibes series. Same amazing formula. I don't know how much I love this palette. I like the look that I created with it, but I'm not a pastel person. I don't mind a couple of pastels in a palette, but there's no like deepening shades in here. And even though they're very pigmented, they do pack a punch when you put them on. There's no shades that are dark. And I like a dark outer corner. I really do. So then I would have to pull from another palette. I didn't with this look because it was a collab with Emily D. And, you know, when you're doing a collab, you can't just go pulling out palettes all willy-nilly and using whatever you want. The next one I used was also a collab, and this was the collab. I need to clean this one off too. This was a collab with Leanna Dalton. We talked about if we were to go on vacation, what makeup we would take. And can I just say I totally dropped the ball on this. I totally dropped the ball. I showed you what makeup I was taking. But after watching Leanna's video, she is taking some makeup. I feel like I didn't do it justice. Whatever. It was very late when I mean, no excuses, but it was very late when I filmed. But I used the Natasha Denona Zendo palette. I do like this palette a lot. I don't think it is as good as other Natasha Denona palettes. So let me try this. There we go. It's very reflective. But I did like the look that I created with it. And I think it is a good versatile palette because you have several color stories that you could choose from. So I do love the palette. I just don't think it's as good. And I'm really happy that I only paid $28 for this through Ipsy. Yeah. The next... Oh, this is my favorite look, you guys. This was my favorite look of the month. I used the Mercury Retrograde and the Rose Quartz, both by Huda. I believe I used mostly the Retrograde. This is what the Retrograde looks like, if you don't know. And then this is the Rose Quartz. And I'm pretty sure that I dug into this one for this shade right here and this shade right here. I think that's what it was. I can't remember, but they worked very well together. They're beautiful palettes. I love them. This I got from a friend of the channel, Miss Michelle. I love her so much. and I love that palette. The next palette that I used was the Bridgerton from Pat McGrath Labs. I did get this in friend mail from Leanna Dalton. This is what it looks like. It was so lovely to use. It was just lovely. It was such a romantic look. I love the look that I did with this palette. This shade right here is in my Pan Those Eyeshadows project. So I was like, you know what? I'm using this shade. My plan is to use this as an inner corner most of the time. But I was like, you know, I'm using that shade. I'm just going to use the whole palette. And that was the first time that I had used the palette. And it was lovely. It was absolutely lovely. I love it. I will be using it more often. The last palette that I used this month is what is on my eyes today, and it is the Natasha Denona Retro palette. I filmed this as a Get Ready With Me, this look, as a Get Ready With Me, and because I had filmed it previously and it was a casualty of my stupid computer. It got corrupted and I couldn't replace it. So I refilmed, and I'm so happy that I did, because it is beautiful. I got this in friend mail from Mary Catherine Loves Cats, Laura the Bargain Hunter, and Cece from Cece's Trial Size Life, also panning for goals. They gave me this for reaching 1K, and I'm just, I love it so much. It was effortless. I loved it so much. So those are all of the palettes that I have used this month. Anybody that I mentioned that has a channel will be in the description box below for you to go check out at your leisure. Thanks you guys so much for joining me today for my palette roundup. I really appreciate being here. And until our next adventure, everyone have a great day, and we'll see you later.